Welcome to the Owning Your Sexual Self podcast, a place for you to listen and explore all things surrounding sex positivity. I'm your host, Rachel Main, sex therapist and educator, intimacy coach, awesome wife to my husband, Danny, board of directors member and team leader with Pure Romance, and best of all, a work-from-home dog mom to my favorite pups, Bane and Tater. After starting my Pure Romance business, I quickly learned how much sexuality education was lacking within my community and how much shame was placed on things like fantasies, masturbation, and sexual dysfunctions. I'm on a mission to make this world a more sex-positive place, and with this podcast, I hope to reach thousands of people. I'll bring real-life experiences to the surface and normalize them by offering a non-judgmental view. If you can get down with that, then tune in every Monday and let's change this fucking world. Okay, so apparently y'all can just call me the blowjob queen. I don't know what has got into me this week. Y'all know desire is a motherfucker, so for whatever reason, my desire has been all over the map this past week, and it's been also a week where I haven't had like a crazy amount of things going on in my schedule. So you'd think that I'd be here and ready to just jump the bones of my husband, but yeah, that urge has been coming up. I've been having that desire, but then I'm just like, I just don't want a penis inside of me today or the next day or the next day. So thank God we have strong sexual connection and even stronger sexual communication. And we have both already had this conversation with each other that we both agree that oral sex is sex. Sex does not necessarily mean that it has to be penetrative sex. And so when these moments come up for me, I know this is a struggle for so many people. When these moments come up that we just feel like we don't desire having sex in that moment, we sort of just throw anything sexual related off the table. But that doesn't always have to be the case, right? There's always other things that we can do, things like massage, oral sex, bubble baths, all these different things together that just can really still bring an intimate connection. So if I look at the last week of our marriage, and this is getting pretty intimate here, but if I look at the last week of our marriage, it's probably been one of the best weeks that we've had together. We just really came together and communicated with everything that was going on with our schedules, with just life, really, kind of what's coming up for us, and stress at work, and just all sorts of different things, stress of this election. And we just really took the time to be there for each other this week. And so wanted to share with you guys just a few things. So on Tuesday night, right? So Tuesday was election day if you're listening to this in real time. And that was a stressful day. Just, we're going to leave it at that. That was a stressful day. And especially if you were somebody that was watching the back and forth of everything, it was likely stressful for you as well. And so at the end of the day, after dinner and stuff, I said, hey, do you want to take a bubble bath together? Like, you want to get in the tub with me? Let's soak off and just enjoy each other's company. Unwind from the day, relax from the day. I knew he was feeling a little bit sore after work and stuff and working out and everything. And so we have this amazing CBD body soak that we use. And I have an amazing bubble bath that I just love so much. But anyways, that bath, I know for me, is like a really good time to just like de-stress and just connect and relax and all that. So what better thing to do than to share that with my husband when we're in, a stressful moment. Stressful day even. And so we did. He said, yeah, I think that sounds fantastic. So we get in the bubble bath, right? And so for everybody listening, you know that when you're in the bathtub, you're naked, right? So of course, I shouldn't say of course, but for most people, seeing your partner in that very vulnerable moment, seeing them naked and just kind of relaxing and feeling the vibes of the relaxation and calming down effect that can maybe spark some arousal for some people, right? And so my lovely husband looks at me and says, by the way, this is not what he said. By the way, I was taking a bath the first place for me personally, also because I was experiencing some menstrual cramps. And so baths are my go-to for menstrual cramps. I freaking love that. So he already knew I was feeling crampy and probably sex was not going to be on the table for me that night. Not that I'm against period sex or anything, but I'm against cramping and I fucking hate it. So anyway, so back to you imagining my husband and I in the bubble bath together. He looks over to me and he says, do you want to make out? And in that moment, it took me back to so early on in our relationship, right? That takes you, hey, you want to make out question just can take, I think, any couple back to those very early intimate moments in your relationship, or maybe even back to way back, like middle school, high school days when your partners back then would be like, hey, you want to make out, right? Well, just in that moment, it was just so perfect. It was just, it was amazing. So I was like, yes, I actually would love to make out. And so then, you're already sweating because you're in a hot ass bubble bath together. And then just your faces are, smushed against each other. And you're like, is that sweat? Is that spit? I don't know what's happening. Is that water? There's a lot of things happening to my mouth right now. What is going on? And so I can't do uncomfortable situations like that. I also don't like slimy things. It's a weird texture thing for me. But so I'm like, okay, I'm literally so hot. Please, let's get out of the bathtub. And then this was a delivery day for me in the pure romance world. And I remembered, oh my gosh, I got some new lingerie that came in today. And so anytime I get new lingerie, I freaking love lingerie. I have to try it on immediately and model it for him. It's probably one of his favorite parts of my business and our relationship. And this new piece in particular it's one of my favorite pieces, actually one of his favorite pieces as well. It came out in a new color, red, which is also one of my favorite colors, also one of my primary colors for my color palette. So let's just say I was looking fly, right? So not only do I have my naked husband in the bath with me, relaxing, makeout session, then I go into the bedroom and put on lingerie, him still knowing that sex is probably not on the table, right? Because that's the level that our marriage is at. That's the conversation. That's the communication that we have. That's just the shit where you just know your partner. That's a magical thing. And that does not happen overnight. So he's sitting there, we're drying off. And so I bring the question back to him, not the, do you want to make out, but the, do you want a blowjob? Moment of silence. Just kidding. And of course, he has the same reaction that I did. Like, yes, I would love to make out. His reaction was, yes, I would love a blowjob. So here we go. In my sexy lingerie, and boom, both of us leaving that moment feeling satisfied. And that was an amazing date night that we were able to have with each other. Then finish the night with just laying down in bed, finishing watching some election crap on TV and falling asleep. End scene. But in that moment, I'm sharing the story with you because I think it's so important that we remind ourselves that connection and intimacy can happen without sex having to happen. It's that moment and that time that you take to spend with your partner, to spend with yourself, and doing that work ahead of time to know your partner and what their desires are, what their boundaries are. That's so important. So then, second story I wanted to share with you. I told y'all I'm like the blowjob queen this week. I don't know what it is. I mean, women out there listening, I know you all can relate with me. It's just the way we're wired. It is just our damn desire. It's a motherfucker, as I already said in the beginning of this. But so this weekend, we had another date night. My upline surprised us with an incredible night in downtown Detroit, got us a room at this very, very nice hotel in downtown Detroit called the Shinola Hotel. And again, right, so you have this incredible evening. And you get back to the hotel, and of course, I know you're all thinking like, any partner out there would be thinking like, ooh, right, we're going back to the hotel, we're going to have sex. It's going down, right? This amazing night, it has to end with sex. That is how you complete the night. And I'm here to tell you differently. I'm here as a sex therapist, a sex coach, and a sex educator to tell you something different. I'm here to tell you, again, that sex doesn't have to always happen to maintain an intimate connection or establish that deeper level connection with your partners. So, do you know what we did when we got back to the hotel? We opened up wine that was in our room, fed our faces with cookies and chocolate and just a lot of unhealthy snacks that were so delicious, turned on Harry Potter, to all my Harry Potter fans out there, turned on Harry Potter. I put on my comfy pajamas, not the sexy lingerie that I packed, comfy pajamas, he in his comfy clothes, found a robe in the closet that was way too big for my body, put it on anyways because it was cold in the room. And we just sat there and literally talked, watched Harry Potter, talked about the night, shared moments with each other, just shared, again, that connection with each other, held each other in each other's arms, looked at each other, kissed each other goodnight, and then drifted off to sleep. And then the next morning, the morning arises, right? The sun arises, which anybody listening to this, you can all already appreciate the fact that we were able to sleep in. We woke up on a Sunday morning, no obligations at all for Sunday. So there was no timeline of anything, no dogs that needed to be let out. For some of you listening, no kids around, right? It was just peaceful bliss, waking up in this hotel room with no agenda. And I set an alarm. I set an alarm for 9 a.m. I'm just in a habit of setting alarms. So I set an alarm at 9 a.m. It goes off. We look at each other. We're like, yeah, no, go back to bed. So we fall back asleep. Then I'm like, okay, let me set a backup alarm just in case because, checkout's at noon and we don't want to overstay our welcome. I don't want housekeeping walking in on us like, hey, it's time to go. So we set the second alarm, 10:30. Wake up at 10:30. Still have an hour and a half to kill. Again, right? Me, female here, thinking, oh, gosh, we didn't have sex last night. We didn't have sex the other night. We haven't even had sex yet this week. When's the last time we had sex? And that guilt sets in, right? That guilt sets in. Is this something that they need? Is this something that they want? And so I ask him, hey, how you feeling? How'd you sleep? He says, good. Just, did you have fun last night? Yeah, I had an incredible time. I'm just, we relived the night and being able to wake up and sleep in and all the glory of that, just the last 24 hours, really. And then, you wouldn't even believe it. It must have been a Harry Potter marathon, but Harry Potter is back on the TV, you guys. So we continue watching Harry Potter, only we grow a little bit closer to each other. This is not something that we get to do often. Often I'm up and he's up for work and we're on with our lives. So getting this time in the morning to ourselves is something that doesn't happen often. And so we grow a little closer to each other. Some cuddling starts to happen. Some caressing starts to happen. And lo and behold, we both experience orgasm that morning. And guess what? No penises were inserted into my vagina once again. And guess what? I can tell you the way that my husband has looked at me this week, the way that we've been I'm going to use the word connected again, the way that we've just flowed through life this week has been incredible. We're literally shaping our marriage to be better and better as the days go on. And I strongly think that that's because of communication. And one of the important parts of communication, especially when it comes to sexual communication, is, again, for you, whoever you are listening to this, having that very clear picture of what your desires are. What are you willing to do? What do you want to do? What do you not want to do? Having a very clear picture, and even having this mapped out, written out. What is it that you are okay doing or want to do, want to receive, want to give? And for your partner to be able to do the same. When you can have a very clear cut picture of that, and then having the confidence in yourself to be able to speak up and set those boundaries around the things that you don't want to do, there's so much magic and so much grace that can happen for that relationship. That sexual tension, that those sexual expectations that we create, the guilt that comes up, all of that can be avoided. And as I mentioned, that morning when I woke up, that guilt set in, or that night rather, before going to bed, like, oh gosh, we have this hotel room to ourselves. I packed lingerie and I don't want to have sex. I'm just not feeling it. I'm feeling in my veg out mode. And for both of us being okay with that, and for both of us waking up and then feeling that connection, still being on that high with one another, and then choosing in that moment to engage in intimacy, that guilt, when that happens for me, I think I use it as like a check-in almost. I use it, okay, guilt is coming up for me. Why is this coming up? Is it because I'm comparing to somebody else's relationship? Is it because I seen or I heard something from somebody else, or I saw something on TV? Most likely for me, that's what it's coming up. That's why it's coming up. Because I know deep down that my husband and I have this strong connection and communication amongst one another. And it's fucking amazing. It is a freaking amazing, and I want that for all of you. And so I'm going to continue this conversation. I'm going to continue recording about this and sharing these personal stories and personal experiences that we're having, because I think they're so important. And again, I just cannot say how important communication is. Everyone likes different things, and what turns on one person can be very different than what turns us off, or what the other person's turn on is. So feel free to ask. Ask prior to sexual experience. Ask during the sexual experience. What do they enjoy? What would they like for you to keep doing? Because ultimately, we want our partners to be able to win with us, right? We want them to be winning. We want them to know, here's how I want to be treated. Here's how I want you to speak to me. Here's what I want you to call me. Here's what I want you to do to me. Those are important things. That's how your partner wins with you. And have fun with that, right? We can't expect our partners to keep playing this guessing game. And especially as women, we're always changing. Our desires and our wants and our needs are always changing. How can we expect somebody else to keep up with that? So just be open and vocal, and allow that same openness and vocalness from your partners as well. All right. Have fun, y'all. Go out there. Pleasure yourself and pleasure your partners, if that's what you choose to do. I'll talk to you later.
Thank you so much for listening today and helping me change the world by spreading sex positive awareness. If you love the show, please subscribe so you never miss an episode, and leave a review for others to see. If you want to see me on the daily, you can find me on Facebook and Instagram under Rachel Main, or check out my Linktree website in the show's bio for direct links to all my pages. You can also shop my Pure Romance store or become a Pure Romance business owner yourself by visiting pureromance.com/RachelUC. Thank you again so much. Until next week, go out there and own your sexual self.